Hi, this is Stacy with Lily Bean Crafts by Stacy. Welcome back, and if it's your first time, thanks for coming and watching my video. I got in this collab from Rustic Passion Studios and Gracefully Created, and I immediately knew that I needed to make something with it. In fact, I need to make something with all of it because I love every bit that I got in this collab box. I decided to make this tumbler match the Rustic Passion Studios kind of style of tumbler, and I'll go ahead and link her Facebook group so that you can check her out. Emily's work is all amazing. So I cut this piece of vinyl in 4 triangles that all match perfectly, and you can actually make 2 different tumblers with it. I'm using a 24-ounce prepped and painted tumbler from Steel Magnolia. I spray painted it with Colorshot's Extra Guacamole. And I'm gonna wrap the top portion of the triangle around the top of the tumbler. It just fits perfectly right around there. It all matches up evenly. I did cut a small piece off of the backing so that I could do the hinge method with applying this piece of vinyl. And Gracefully Created uses removable vinyl, so if when you apply it, it's not perfectly even, it's really easy to pull up and then reposition where you need it to be. I'm going to go ahead and use the same method to apply the bottom piece to the tumbler. I want to try to line it up so that you get a good diamond in the center of the tumbler, and that took me a few minutes, but I eventually got it. I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to apply the decals onto the tumbler, so I cut out a couple of different pieces and just put them off to the side for once I was at that point. I did tape off around the vinyl because I tend to be messy with the glitter glue, and I am using Adhesive Apothecary's glitter glue, which will be dry in about a half hour, and I'm applying Chase Ray's Sage glitter. I just thought that was the perfect green to match the tumbler. I am going to be doing a glitter butt on this tumbler, so I'm just glittering around the edge. And after about a half hour, I went back in with the glitter glue and I sealed it all so that I can keep the glitter in place. At this point in time, I'm also going to go ahead and remove the tape. I want to make sure that I have the tape removed before all the glitter dries so that it doesn't get pulled off when I remove it. I'm going in with my first coat of my fast set epoxy. I used about 15 mLs on this. There wasn't that much glitter, so it didn't take as much as it normally does. And I'm going to let that dry for 3 hours. I'm going to go right back in with another 10 mLs for a second coat and let that dry for 3 hours. Deciding on how I wanted to do the striping for the tumbler and actually applying the striping is what took me the longest of everything that I did with this design. I'm using Tech Wrap Crafts textured champagne vinyl, and I cut it on my Cricut at 11.3 by 0.11 inches, and that's what I used just for this first set of striping. Originally just going to stripe off the diamond, and I put the vinyl down so that it would cover it so that I would have a good guide when I was moving on to the next portion of it, and I just love the way that it looked with all of the tumbler covered with it. This was about the point in time when I decided that I really liked the vinyl over the entire tumbler, but my diamond on the back wasn't straight, so I just took the time to reposition it so that I can have it be perfectly diamond shaped on the back. I've had some nail tape that I got from Amazon probably 2 or 3 years ago, and I've never used it. So I decided to use that to put a little bit of green over it to match with the glitter. I'm not really a huge fan of it, so I'm not going to link it. In fact, I don't even know if I could find it because it was so many years ago. But like I said, I didn't really like it that much. It just wanted to keep peeling up. It wound up looking really pretty with the champagne gold, but I didn't like this particular brand. And I cut out some more of the Tech Wrap Crafts textured vinyl in the champagne color. I cut this one at 11.3 by 0.07 inches. I just wanted it to be thinner. I figured with as pretty as the vinyl looked on there, by adding an extra row next to it, it would just add a little bit more dimension, and it totally did. And because that green nail striping kept peeling up on me because it wasn't that sticky, I went ahead and I put a row of the vinyl around the bottom of it, and that just held down the edges of that nail tape. And I decided to go with just the decal and not any of the extra flowers because the vinyl striping became like a big part of it, so I didn't want to cover any of it. And I'm going to go in with 10 mLs of my fast set epoxy so that I could seal everything in and then start working on the glitter butt. I know I've been doing glitter butts in most of my videos, but I am become absolutely obsessed with it. I love doing that. I love having that extra added feature of dimension on the tumbler, and I figured I would just show you the process one more time. So for the outer rim, I'm using my UV epoxy that I got from Counterculture DIY, and I'm using Brevin from Peachy Olive Glitters. It's such a beautiful yellow, and it's great because I didn't even have to spray paint or paint the bottom of the tumbler with these colors. And for the center, I'm going in with Adirondack from Peachy Olive Glitters. It's more of a mini chunky, so I just like the way that that looks in the center of the glitter butt. And I'm going to make sure to pop the bubbles and then put it under my UV lamp for 2 minutes. At this point, one of my best friends saw me working on this tumbler and told me she absolutely had to have it. I couldn't sell it and that she wanted to have a sunflower on the bottom of it, so I went ahead and put a sunflower on the bottom of it. I then went in with my UV resin so that I could seal it all in and make it all nice and smooth on the bottom. I'm going to pop the bubbles on that, and once again, I'm going to have it dry under my lamp for 2 minutes. I did go in with another 10 mLs of my fast set epoxy. I could still feel the ridges of the textured vinyl, so I wanted to make sure that I made that all nice and smooth. So I'm going to put that on and let that dry for 3 hours, and then I'm going to sand it down really good, make sure the rim is nice and smooth, make sure there's a little bit of metal that's exposed, and make sure it's all nice and smooth on the bottom. And I'm going to go in with my 10 mLs of my Flynn Sisters epoxy and let that dry for 8 to 10 hours. And here is the final product. It turned out so beautiful. And I love the fact that I did it in the style that Rustic Passion Studio does her tumblers. And I can't wait to make more with the rest of the vinyl. If you like how I made this tumbler, please hit that like and subscribe button. Please check out all my social medias. And I will see you all again next Tuesday. Have a great one.